Walter, Williams, and Williamson in a trio back at the 15-yard line to receive the kick. And we are underway, and it is an onside kick, and it doesn't go the required 10 yards. It goes out of bounds, and that'll be a penalty, and this will be great starting field position. Well, I appreciate the idea, Chris, but boy, you got to execute it a little better than that.
I was going to say, right off the bat, got everybody, including both of us up
here. Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. Right away, but first down, Owatonna, plus 5 yards.
For the Elks. Ball goes out of bounds. Great field position to start. Boy, when you have the ability to start on the Elk side of the ball, that's how you want to start if you're the Owatonna Huskies.
They're going to start at the 39-yard line of Elk River. That's putting yourself in a little bit of a hole. For the Huskies, they'll start with Solomon Havelka at quarterback, and it's Williamson getting the first carry of the day, and he opens up with an 8-yard gain to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of Williamson here. And Corbu, when you talked in the beginning of the game about the offensive line, I appreciate that because it is about getting Williamson the holes. We often forget, and even to talk about that offensive line early on, but when you talk to Williamson, you talk to Jeff Williams and company, they talk about the performance of the offensive line, and that is definitely crucial here in their offensive attack.
Velka calling out the signals, talking to that offensive line. Second and short. And Williamson gets the call again. He gets the first down, then some, to the 26-yard line. Pickup of 5. 2 carries, 13 yards for Williamson.
Well, Williamson is going to be the guy who's going to get the ball here today. It's not a secret. Expect him to be in the upper 20s, even into the mid-30s here on attempts. Nonetheless, on what sort of yardage it's going to come from their ground attack.
We're going to see a lot more deception. We know what Elk River is going to do, but it's a little bit more of a deceptive attack on their side with that T formation. This is pretty much just get it to Williamson for the Huskies, and why not? Look what he can do. He's got a hole. He's got his eyes on the end zone. Dives, touchdown. Just that simple. 26 yards, 6 points for the Huskies.
Well, just off the right side. And it's a treat for Williamson to have that blocking out front. Watch the speed here. I love it when a running back uses his blockers. He gets a great seal, wide receiver out front, but then he turns it on. He can sense the end zone at about the 15, and he dives in there for the score. But if you're Elk River, there's no secret. You have to stop double deuce, and that's Jason Williamson. He goes on the outside, and it is just a pleasure watching him from that running back position.
Left-footed kick from Keller is no good. Missed it wide left, and that'll be interesting because Elk River is going to go for 2 pretty much every time out, so every point matters. Owatonna missing the extra point, but on the board first with 10:45 to play in the first quarter. One more look at it, the way they started the drive. It was Williamson left. You go with Williamson, why not, right? They started at the 39-yard line, and they used Williamson for all 39 yards. Let's go left again for the first down. And just when they have you looking left, go ahead and pop it to the right.
They get that little guard pulling on those plays. You're asking a lot for those offensive linemen. The patience that Williamson has on the outside, and then the explosiveness. It's just a deadly combo, a 1-2. His vision is there. Elk River defense is going to be seeing him in about every scenario from here on out. I mean, when you watch it, it's just the offense flows through 22 in that backfield.
So the Elks will have their first opportunity to try and answer back. Agbujar and Enkhaus await the kick from the Huskies. Sam Henson approaches, kicks, and this will be taken by Agbujar. Looking for the corner, cuts it up, just tripped up as he gets past the 33-yard line. Not bad starting position for the Elks. Their first possession of the ball game, trailing 6-0.
Well, this will be the second game here in a row. Barnesville, the game prior to this, and now Elk River, where we've seen the T offense coming out here with double tight ends. Elk River runs this to perfection. Steve Hamilton has brought it to the state of Minnesota back. It's not a true tight T. There's a lot of deception and misdirection here. We'll see it in action right here in this drive.
Otto on the right, Nelson in the middle, and it is Otto to open up with the football. Hit and dropped after a pickup of 2. You got players running every which way, and often you'll see the quarterback, Tyler Laszewski, looking like he will hand it off to 2 people at the same time. Really got to keep an eye on it. We'll just admit to this now. They'll probably fake us out once or twice, and they probably won't get our camera operators. Second down here after the short pickup. And they're going to go right up the middle. Not a lot of room.
You know, these two teams have a short history, but a history enough where you're not just exposed to this for the first time. Little handoff there to the fullback, straightforward blocking. But again, last year's matchup, high-scoring event, 62-26. You know, these teams, it almost looks like a deficiency for defense, but it is so obvious that they go right to their stables and they know each other. It's a short, intense version of each other here. It's fun to watch.
3rd down and 4, and Egbujar gets 5. And that'll keep the chains moving to the 44-yard line. Kevin Egbujar with his first carry of the ball game. Carter Otto over 1,000 yards on this season. Adam Nelson, as we showed you in the keys, with almost 1,800 yards, with a nice read by Egbujar just to find enough room for those 5 yards. Owatonna striking first. 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. First possession of the ball game for the Elks. Egbujar, Nelson, and Otto, and it's Egbujar over the right side. Breaks a tackle, and he's dropped at the 44. He was a shoelace away from going the distance.
I tell you what, right there, if it isn't for the shoestring tackle right there, he is gone. He had it full stride, but you rep this out. See how he kicks it down right there? He's not looking to dance. He's looking to kick the burners down and get going. That's all part of that. It's all part of that repping out in practice. It's not an offense where you're looking to make secondary moves. It is a quick strike.
And they will strike this time with Otto going over the left side ahead for 5 yards to the 40-yard line. It was Sam Henson who made the stop that saved the 6 points. And Otto now has 2 carries, 7 yards. The Elks are not going to punt the football, they're not going to throw the football, and they're not going to kick the football. They are going to go for 2. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Nothing new. That's been their MO all season long. On 2nd down, again it's Otto. This time a pickup of 1. 3rd down and 4 coming up, trailing 6-0 are the Elks.
When you watch Owatonna's defense, a lot of the times defensively, when you're facing an offense, you're telling them to get in the backfield, cause disruption. Things for Owatonna, you're telling them to get a person and cause disruption. You can see in that last play, it was just one-on-one with a defensive tackle and an offensive lineman. They're 10 yards away, but the linebackers are going to be asked for the Huskies to do a lot of the tackling, a lot of stepping up here.
Laszewski turning around to talk to the trio. And it's Nelson straight ahead, and he's got the first down. Picked up 5. Second time on 3rd down and 4. They've gotten 5 out of it, and they'll keep the chains moving once again.
Elk River again, you know, you're watching it, and you can see quarterback rolls out here. He's getting tackled 20 yards away from the ball, and he doesn't even have the ball. We'll talk about it consistently here every time you see Elk River. But they do it so well. It is something that you wake up, you instill it in a program, and you just got to rep, and they're doing it here today.
It is Otto Nelson and Nordstrom in the backfield and hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped. Otto this time loses a yard. Go back to your point, Chris. You talked about everybody just taking a player, not necessarily chasing the ball, and that time you see him plugging that gap nicely.
Yep, and he got it on the right side there. You know, probably a missed block on that one if you're looking at it from Elk River's side, but he got through the gap and just sliced through there and picked up the stalemate. Normally in an offense like Hamilton, Coach Hamilton is running, the stalemate is going to happen at the line. It doesn't usually revert back to a drop for a loss. That was a nice play by Owatonna.
Brings up a 2nd down and 11 from the 35. Nordstrom with his first carry. And he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Just 1 yard for Nordstrom. 3rd down and 10. Again, they'll have 2 downs to pick this up. They are not going to punt the football.
Well, of all the games in semifinal action here at US Bank, this is one that might fly back or fly through the quickest. We're talking about 5 minutes left here in the first quarter, but you know, what do you do on an over-under on passing here? You thinking maybe 7 for the whole game here, Corbu?
I would take the under, I think, if it was 7. If you put it at 4, I'd be iffy. So we'll go 4.5. How about that?
I'll still take the under probably.
3rd down and 10. This time it's Nelson right up the middle. They get a good chunk, still on his feet, battling as they get it to the 29-yard line. Pickup of 5.
Number 71, Elk River, must lead for 1 play. Due to helmet coming off.
Okay, thank you very much.
Helmet coming off there. Player has to go out after that. But again, you see those splits. We're talking ankle to ankle here. Center in an offense like that usually is the first one up, and then everybody's helmet, tackle to tackle, is just off his backside. You'll get guard pulling action on this, but here we got our first big play of the game with the 4th and 5.
Owatonna crowd on its feet, and they will go with Ekbujar over the right side. Excuse me, this is the quarterback, Leshowski, and he is dropped for a loss of 3. They should have given it to Ekbujar. A loss of 3, so Owatonna will take over on downs.
They were banking on deception right there. You see how he just held it? And he ends up just holding the ball, hoping that everybody was going to go to the running backs. But to no avail right there.
Zach Stransky making a big stop on 4th down, giving Owatonna the football, a 6-0 lead with 4:42 left in the first quarter from their own 31-yard line. And Williamson in the Wildcat trying to bounce it outside, gets 1 yard to the 32.
A little different look there for Owatonna. Not an unusual look. They do have the Wildcat with Williamson, but coming off a series here where it was direct handoffs for him. Now they just say, what the heck, let's just do direct snaps. Now they go back to the original here.
And this is a formation we'll see from them quite a bit. Receiver either side, and then Williamson deep in the backfield. That's Xander Johnson in motion. Williamson looking for a hole. Ends up to the 36-yard line, a pickup of about 4. 3rd down coming up.
Well, you see that picture right there, too, for those of you at home, and Williamson's stature. You know, the guys around him are a good 3-4 inches shorter than him, but he just has that, you know, give me the ball 30 times look in a running back. He's a very tall, very strong, muscular running back, but again, there seems to be no wear in him as a running back.
Yeah, 6'2", 203 pounds. The senior has carried it 261 times this year. Coming into today, and this is another carry for him, another 1st down, and a touchdown saving tackle, but still a big pickup of 13 yards for Williamson.
Elk River, number 20, must lead for 1
12
play.
As they mark it at the 48. Williamson now with 6 carries on the day, 56 yards.
Colin Nelson coming up and wrapping up here. If he doesn't wrap up, I think we see a stride by Williamson right there, just getting his right leg. And again, look at the timely nature of it. Williamson just goes to the hole, patience, picks up the 1st down and moves the chains.
That's what it's about as a running back, right? Finding the holes, not necessarily trying to get there quickly, but finding the right hole to get through. Johnson gets the carry. The first person not named Williamson to get a carry, and it still turns out to be a gain of 6 yards. There you see what the offensive line can do for this offense. Owatonna on the move with a 6-0 lead. We're in the first quarter, 2:38 left in it. Velka from the gun. Williamson with the nice stiff arm just to keep his feet, get to the line of scrimmage, +2. 3rd down and 2 coming up.
Nice job of pursuit right there by Elk River. Williamson keeps his feet nicely off that left side, but you can see the pursuit by the linebackers for the Elks. You know, Williamson, again, you're not taking him down on this first contact. He does a nice job with his right hand staying afloat. But there are 2 or 3 linebackers coming in there in the corner for the Elks. So the name of the game here this week, obviously, for Elk River was pursuit. You know they're going to know where number 22 is on the field.
3rd down and 2. Havelka will go underneath center. That's Johnson in motion. This is Williamson. He's got room. He's got the first down and more. He's got his eyes on the end zone, down the sideline, hesitates, explodes, and scores. What a move. And Owatonna is up by 12. How about that?